What's up, guys? This is the American Foot Channel, and I was just kind of sitting around right now, and I thought to myself, has the U.S. men's national team gained anything this year? We are at the end of the year, and it was just some little time of reflection I was having, and I thought to myself, did they gain anything? And honestly, I think that they did. Yeah, I think so. And before anything, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you're seeing. This is the American Foot Channel. We discuss things, obviously, American football or soccer, and even world football at times. I watch all of it. So don't forget to subscribe. Anyways, let's get started. Let's look at those positives, or let's look at what they've gained at least. Well, first things first, we got to address the elephant in the room. No elephant in this room, but the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, U.S. Soccer did rehire Greg Berhalter after a bunch of BS, just baloney, honestly. They hired Matt Crocker guy. They hired a firm to hire him, first of all, actually. And then they were like, we hired him. He's going to help us find the best candidate. They could win us big games. And somewhere deep down inside, the whole time I knew they were going to go back to him. But I was still in shock when it happened. And, it was all baloney, honestly. And in the end, they just brought Greg back, which is crazy. It's literally, we went like half a year without having a manager or a coach. And all of a sudden they decided, not all of a sudden, I think this was the plan all along, but they brought him back. It was just a waste of time. We had a couple interim coaches, BJ Callahan and what's his name? I'm blanking, British dude. Anyways, so the British dude too, Anthony Hudson, there we go. I don't have anything in front of me to remember his name, but anyways, yeah, so it was a big waste of time, and we honestly did not gain a whole lot during that time. But we did gain some stuff, You look at the BJ Callahan era. We had that really good performance in the Nations League. In the semifinal, Mexico's not what they used to be, but we absolutely dogged them. 3-0 win, really definitive. Even our guy Beppe scored. My guy Beppe, awesome player, brilliant player. Big 2024 for him coming up. But that was dominant. And I think that we gained quite a bit, that confidence where it's like, people are aware that Mexico's not as good right now, but just dominating your opponent like that in a stadium full of, I would say, 80% Mexican fans, that's a lot to gain right there. So that is definitely somewhere where we gained. And then we won that final against Canada. Once again, we probably didn't dominate Canada as much as Mexico, but we still beat them really fair. They got hit with the 1-2 and they couldn't answer back. So I think that's positive. I think that part of the summer is very positive. I like what happened there. The BJ era, beautiful era, playing Gio Reyna as a 10, getting Balogun, which is something I think that is something we got, something that we gained that is a pretty big deal. He has potential to become a really good striker, an elite striker. But yeah, I think we gained quite a bit there. Like I said, with that Gio Reyna playing in the 10 finally, which eventually Greg Berhalter is also doing that now. That was something we gained. So that was good. That's one of the good things we got this year. And then we had the Gold Cup. Honestly, that was a complete waste of time. We didn't gain shit there. I made a video on it. Check it out. We didn't get shit there. That was a waste of time. We didn't gain shit there at all. Once again, did I mention that we didn't gain shit in that? We didn't. That was a complete waste of time. And then obviously, which is so fucking bizarre how they did it. They announced, or I forgot this journalist. He announced, obviously a U.S. soccer guy, announced that Greg Berhalter was back right before that semifinal versus Mexico in the Nations League. So we lost quite a bit there, but the thing is, since Greg Berhalter came back, he's dropped a lot of his favorites. We haven't seen any more Roldan or Ariola or any of his favorites. We really haven't seen, or even Jesus Ferreira. We haven't seen Ferreira. So I think we've gained there. We've gained where he's not calling up his favorites. I mean, there's still Miles Robinson, who he's not that much of an offender. He could get the job done against weaker opponents, but we still really don't have. We haven't seen him against top class, really. But, I mean, his selections have been pretty good, Greg's. He's been calling up pretty much all the players he should, which honestly, it's not really that hard. I think that's just how low our bar is. That him calling up these players that I think anyone with half a brain would call up. We see it as a win, but I mean that's just how it should be. We should be calling up these players. Like, no matter who the manager is, they're the best. They're the best. You got to call up the best for your national team. There's no time to forge the players that you want. You can't buy players. This isn't a club team. You can't be like, hey, let me go spend 100 mil on this guy and bring in our playmaker. It's like, no, you've got what you've got. Whether you can recruit some dual nationals, or you could find someone who's young and get them to be a part of the program, or just anywhere, but I do think we gain from him calling the correct player. So I think that's a positive from Greg Berhalter, which there's normally not that many, because then we didn't gain from going and playing away. The US still can't win there, but at least he's calling up the right players, so that's something, right? And then we also did gain from some of our guys making moves, and some of them going back to their clubs. First guy that comes to mind is Christian Pulisic. He made that move to AC Milan. That move has worked out brilliant for him. Unfortunately, they got knocked out of Champions League, right? But they're in Europa League, and he's been one of the top performers, man. I would say he's been better than Rafael Leao. Like, I think he's been better, in my opinion. He's one of the top performers there. Yunus Musa also went to Milan, and he's been playing quite a bit. He's taken advantage of some players being out, being injured, but he's played, and he's actually he's trended upward. He's gotten better since he's got there. I was kind of scared he wouldn't play much, but man, he's showing he's got what it takes to be at that team. Maybe not a full-time starter, but someone that could get the job done for sure. I mean, a club like Milan, that's pretty impressive. But going back to Pulisic, yeah, man, he's been killing it there, and that was just a heck of a move. So we definitely gained there from him, getting some confidence and finally getting some consistent playing time, not being benched by every single coach. As we look at Chelsea now, and he was not one of the problems. Mason Mount was not one of the problems. Yeah, that club is just, my goodness, it's an absolute shame. But we've definitely gained from Pulisic. Gotta take a water break, guys. Remember to drink water. And another player that's benefited from a move, and not just him, a couple other players too, Serginho Dest to PSV Eindhoven. He's been playing consistent, and he's been damn good. He really has, not just in league, but in Champions League. And these guys are 16 games unbeaten at this point. At this midway of the season, they're 16 games unbeaten. They're top of the league by their league. Like, no one could compete with them. Like, they're top of the league, and they've got a big advantage over everyone. There's a big points gap between them and second place. But yeah, Serginho has benefited after getting blamed by Xavi for everything at Barca, which, honestly, Xavi's not just not a good coach. So Serginho was one of the smaller problems there. And then going to Milan and just absolutely sucking there. No excuses there at all. Just bad. Now he's found a home at PSV, and I'm guessing they're probably going to keep him. So good for him. That's a good move. And then you got Malik Tillman, who's been good there. Great goals and assist ratio, goals contribution per his minutes. Just damn good player. You got Ricardo Pepi, who's not a starter, but he's fighting and he's learning from a damn good striker like De Jong. And this man even scored a crucial goal to get PSV through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. That's pretty big, even if he's not always starting. But man, like that's a big deal. Going from not scoring in Augsburg or getting relegated with Groningen, like that's a big deal. So good moves for those guys. Then we got like Weston McKennie, who was at Leeds and then went back to Juventus this year, and it looked like they were getting rid of him, but he stayed, and he's been one of the best players on that team. So he's benefited too. So that's something we've gained with those players, with those moves, and with Weston moving back. I think that's good. Tim Weah's there. I was like, what the hell? Tim Weah's not going to play. He wasn't even that impressive at Lille, but he's played. He was injured for a while, but now he's back. But he's played when he was healthy. Definitely, they gained a lot. They gained quite a lot, and so did the U.S. men's national team with these players playing. Matt Turner's been inconsistent, but now he plays a lot more than he did at Arsenal. He was benched for a while, and then they started Vladikomos, the Greek goalkeeper. But now he's back in the starting 11 for Forest. So he's playing. Maybe he gets benched every now and then, but at least he's playing. So that's a positive there. We definitely something we've gained. But yeah, a lot of these moves have worked out for our players, and even like Chris Richards now, he's playing consistently for Crystal Palace as a six, not as a center back, which is what we know him as. But he's very versatile, and from what I've seen, he's looked decent. You know, he's probably not at the level like with playing with the ball that a six in the Premier League should be. He definitely is a center back, but as a six, I'm not too sure about that. But he's been good. He's been solid defensively, and even in the last game, he was pushing up. He was literally pushing up. He even when the goal came for Crystal Palace because he was pressuring the goalkeeper. Like, what the hell's Chris Richards doing pressing the goalkeeper? That was insane, but it worked out and they got a goal. So that's been good for him. But yeah, we've gained quite a bit. Anthony Robinson, super consistent for Fulham now, one of their best players this season. So we have gained some stuff. You know, it was obviously at some points this 2023 was ugly, and you know they brought Greg Berhalter back, and that sucks. But we've gained some stuff, so I can't say we haven't. And hopefully 2024 has some more for us. You know, we got the gold. We got the Copa America coming up, so we could gain quite a bit there. But I think for the most part, it's been a decent year. You know, hasn't been too bad. Our guys are performing in Europe. Josh Sargent, was performing until he got that bad injury, which that sucks. And Balo Gunn, hey, he's been decent for Monaco, but we definitely gained getting him as a part of our team, so that's pretty good. And yeah, guys, that's what we gained. And then just really quickly, I'm glad the U.S. Soccer shut down MLS on trying to play their MLS Next teams in the Open Cup, which is our equivalent to like the FA Cup or like Copa del Rey, for those of you who don't know. Thank goodness they did that, because that would have been a mess. MLS, you know, they were complaining about the schedule being too congested. Well, they keep creating these bullshit competitions like the Leagues Cup or whatever against Mexican teams that even the Mexican players and the fans don't like it. That's on them. So thank goodness they didn't shut that. Thank goodness U.S. Soccer shut that shit down. And MLS has to bring their A teams. Maybe even they'll play their subs, but they still have to bring their actual teams to the Open Cup, which is a historic cup that's been around for over 100 years. You know, MLS teams play USL teams, and what is the other one? Nissan, USL 1 teams, all these teams, you know, like independent teams. So thank goodness that happened, that they shut it down, U.S. Soccer, which is a rare W for U.S. Soccer, but I'm happy about that. Thank goodness. So that's on the side note. So that's, I think personally, as U.S. Soccer fans, we gained, or we didn't gain, but we didn't lose anything. So we got a W, and U.S. Soccer got a W by saying no to MLS, which thank goodness they did, because that would have been awful. I would have killed the U.S. Open Cup. I enjoyed that competition. I try to watch it as much as I can. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys think we gained. Any positives this year with U.S. Soccer, with the U.S. men's national team. And also, guys, happy holidays, and hopefully y'all have a good holiday. You know, hopefully, even if I know times are tough sometimes, and sometimes some people don't have family to spend it with, but just know that, you know, things do get better, you know, even if you're going through a hard time right now. And, you know, life is beautiful. It really is. I mean, look, we got the beautiful game. We all love it. That's why you guys are watching this video. Yeah, I mean, life is beautiful. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's, and Christmas already passed, but Merry Christmas as well. And y'all have a good one.